Hi, welcome to this machine. It's a particular machine, it's a special kind of thing. What's so special about it? At some point in time, we had, termite, fine. We had a SSD. Let's have a look, Let's say November the 7th last year. We said, let's install Plasma on this kernel 4.18.16 back, right, 1 year back, almost 1 year and a month back. So we have been updating and updating and updating. So that's this SSD. Just to prove you guys that ArcoLinux, whatever they say, whatever you hear, ArcoLinux is stable and you can keep updating. You don't have to wait, update every day, for instance. That's what they say, otherwise it will crash. No, I have put online videos from SSDs that were not updated like 6 months. So everything is just fine. And as you can see, here are our jumps in time. So the 8th, the 9th, 10th November, 11th November, 16th, 17th, and 18th, still November, working hard, making tutorials. And at some point in time, okay, we start jumping from November 20 to December 7th, January 9, March, suddenly 2 months in between, right? So then from March to June. So it really doesn't matter how many time is between them, July to October. And this time we jump from October the 19th to December. So let's say a month and a half, right? So it's always interesting to watch these videos, how to update, because there's always something that I can explain. And that's great because it's all about knowledge. If you know your system, then you know the fixes, and that's the thing. Knowledge is required, and that's all it is. So here we are on a Plasma. That's 1 month and a half updated, and we have lots of updates, right? PAMAC tray is here saying how it is. So we actually have PAMAC tray on this one because there's of course also Discover, right? So I'm rather do everything in a terminal. And why? Because many of the things, the communications, I want to see what's happening, I want to read what's happening, I want to know the applications as well. Now I was pressing Ctrl-T, but it seems there is nothing available on this SSD. On ArcoLinux B Plasma, everything is available. So this is an ISO that an desktop that grew with us over the last year and 1 month, right? So quick keyboard shortcut. We go to the system settings, shortcuts, custom shortcuts, ArcoLinux, check it out, console, trigger, meta return, no Ctrl-Alt-T. What's this? Ctrl-Alt-Return is there as well, but edit, new, global shortcut, command URL. We're going to use Dolphin console, right? Rather than termite, probably. Ctrl-T, action, console. So that's one thing we've done. So this is how I try to teach, to variate between things, and it's still the wobbly kind of thing, so I definitely like it to be a little bit wobbly, a little live. Plank is not available, but maybe it is, I don't know. Plank is not installed, Plank is there, and now it is as well on the top. Right control, and then also with, so left control, right mouse click. That's how you get this screen, and you put this up there, and that's great. We have this thing up there. So if you want to have that, you have it. So updating, right? Let's start with just an update. Well, let's include some of our aliases. So have a look at alias. On every system, whatever desktop, we have an alias. It's coming from bash rc, so the .bash rc. That's working. So super shift enter is working. Control H. Is all working as well. Control H is hidden. So the bash rc, I just wanted to show you guys, this is what's important. This is what we provide you when in between updates, and this is the bash RC that's coming actually from the ISO itself. But afterwards we'll make new aliases and they will come in here. So this thing contains a lot of aliases. Okay, alias this, alias that, alias this. So when Linux boots up, it's going to read bash RC and it's going to load everything up. So I can actually have L and do an ls. Maybe you've noticed that here, L is ls. You see? And L with a dot. Not that I use them often, but I just saw them, so I thought let's show them, right? So the bash RC is coming, updates are coming, and the one thing you should check out is, let's open you up again. This time it's Termite, so this is a Termite logo or icon, and there are some commands you need to know. Let's do a backup scal first. Okay, this is going to back up Ctrl-T, so quite a different look, Termite look and Dolphin, Consoler look. Alias for backup scal is copy paste me everything inside etc scal and make a nice folder called .scal backup with a nice date between it or after it. So what happened? We got a scal backup. So I have lots of scals from old kind of dates from 2018 November and so on. So the thing is, you can actually compare between these two and know what changed. What did ArcoLinux change from July to December? It's probably going to be a lot, right? So, but again, after our update, we have changes, right? So we'll have to compare. And there is this meld menu, but this is not going to work, not the way I like it anyway. So we have made a copy. When we typed in backup scal, this happened. This was created. 12, 2, 11, 9 o'clock. You see? That's today's date. So fine, I have a backup from the contents from the etc scal before I update. So I can compare after the update. So I can do this one again after my update. Okay, there are other things that are interesting as well, like mirror and scal and so on. But let's do our update now. So this is the first thing we're going to get rid of. So at some point in time, we've made some kind of typo, or is this something else? Let me look. Warning, is newer than ArcoLinux 6.1. So my guess is I just need to say to the system, look system, it's all good. Just install the last thing from Arco. That's that. And now we can run it again. And that will not be showing. So November 2019 is a very, very important month indeed. We have rearranged, reorganized, renamed, made it more streamlined and made it also super flexible. Hence the name Superflex on ArcoLinuxD.com. It used to be called XFC Tuner and we are renaming it to ArcoLinux XFC. So this is the bunch of things we need to run XFC, to have a nice XFC. Well, so just a name change. So you just say yes, not from us, ArcoLinux wants to change it as well, replace, okay, fine. Same thing, not from us, replace, yes. So basically you trust people and you say just enter, enter, yes, yes, yes. And we're off. How many is it? 8 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes to download, 8 gigabytes to extract or install, and minus 150 megabyte. How about that? Minus 150 megabyte. But in the meantime, your bandwidth is 2 gigabytes, right? But hey, if you don't like that, then maybe Debian is a better solution. This is all normal on ArcoLinux. We have lots of updates, but we get the last release, well, to assure people that everything is okay. There is also a testing repo for ArcoLinux, so we do not get the very, very last. It first gets tested on an ArcoLinux repo, and then after the testing, it's distributed to us. So finally, everything is very stable, very secure, and working as it should be. All right. But yeah, we have a lot of updates, and we're used to it. But if you're living in a part of the world where internet is slow, and that's something that has opened my eyes, being a developer of ArcoLinux, opened my eyes that it's not equally divided in the world. We do not have the same bandwidth and even availability of electricity, right? So that's a bummer, of course, and will decide on what you take as a distro. But yeah, we do have a lot to download. So let's wait for him to do that work. Super Shift Enter. We could have a look at the things that happened, right, in these two periods. Now I'm not going to do this with this guy, which, by the way, let's quickly do something. Configure toolbars. Open terminal. Apply. Okay. So I like my terminal to be here, and you're opening it up in the place of folder you're in. So if I'm in here and I open it, it will be opened in this scale backup. So that's quite neat. It's faster, much faster than going like this for actions and open terminal. Sometimes it's here and sometimes it's there. So I tend to have this up here. That's that. Still working very hard. We wanted to compare, but we're going to compare with Ctrl-Alt-B. Ctrl-Alt-B is there because we like our workflow, and the workflow is in Tunar. In Tunar there's lots of things like configure custom actions. This is all done by ourselves, all things we use all the time. And for instance, Ctrl-H, let's have a look at this folder and that folder. Right mouse click, and now you compare. Don't want to see what's the same, so this is the same. This should be off, and the rest is all the changes we've done. That's quite okay, not that much, right? So version 3, version 4, version 5, version 6, great, stay rolling. More stuff to stay rolling because here we are in October, so we're missing November. Some settings, the whisker menu has changed, terminal, pointers, X hot, okay, hotkeys RC, Win RC, Bash RC, Bash RC later. So these things have changed. We've added these lines have been added, and we can just follow along what has changed over time, right? Quite a lot. But actually, it's still okay, right? Not that much. And this is how you learn. This is the ideal way to figure out, hey, what did they do? Did they change something? Yeah, for help/luft WM, another desktop, we added some code inside variety, so that with a alt next, alt N and alt P and all that it works, that we get a wallpaper on our desktop. So that's that. But we still have to wait for the installation. Nevertheless, Ctrl-Alt-G. Where is this article going to? It's going on here, ArcoLinuxD.com. Go away. Phase 3, Plasma articles. Getting SDM and Plasma on here, Plasma Update of 7/2019 Plasma Challenge. So we'll get a number 54 saying update of 11, well actually 12, 2019 Plasma Challenge. So it's still the same SSD that I've used like forever. So you can follow along and be convinced at some point that you say, okay, ArcoLinux can be updated, there's no problem at all, it just keeps rolling. And that's the point. What I want to prove, of course, that Plasma is, or ArcoLinux is something that just keeps rolling. You don't need to reinstall it. Whatever people say, don't trust them. trust your own instincts, trust yourself, do it. And then you form your own opinion and you say, okay, ArcoLinux is as stable as anything, right? And that's what I want to prove with all these videos as well, all these update videos. And from time to time, I can teach you something about the keys that should be correct, things like that, because at this point, no, it's already done. Checking keys and keyring. That's also an important one. Package integrity, so we are almost done. And if that's passed, he's going to install everything. And we're in the clear. We just wait till it finishes. I suppose I have enough disk space, not sure. And up we go. 914 packages out of the way. Or maybe in the way, because I do like you to start reading names. Like I say also to students on Windows, Ctrl-Shift-Escape, start reading the process, the names of the applications that run. So you know at some point in time, that's not the normal application, right? So these things are important. Get to know the Lego blocks. And they're very specific in this case, in Plasma's case, they're very, very specific. That you will not encounter them anywhere else. It's unique desktop, right? Lots of Ks, everything that starts with K, KDE, right? Here's the ArcoLinux keyring. So people who lost their keys, say they disable this, but new people as well. So the key signing, check that out on ArcoLinux wiki, what that is. And here are the things that we have to be on the lookout for. So ArcoLinux updated a package, and the package is going into etc/scal. That's great, but it will not help you. It will not be enabled. It will not show if you do not do anything, and which is okay as well. You can just leave it there, just fine. But when we make an ISO, everything that's going to be installed in etc/scal will automatically move to the user's new directory. When you say create me Eric as a user, that's the password, then Calamares is going to get everything that's inside this folder and put it in your home directory. So that's why this etc/scal is so important. When we're building and talking about ArcoLinux ISO, Carly, right? That's gonna be important. Anything you put in here is gonna be on the ISO, in the home directory of your user. So if you wanna know what we did, if you wanna use it, if we know what I wanna do, if you just wanna know, great, backup scal, great tool, and you haven't changed the thing. But if you wanna get it and use it, then there's another alias, that's called scal. Okay, so things termite, we change something in termite, change something in variety, change something in Thunar, XFC. So we tell you where it's changed. Can't really see what changed in here. This is Pac-Man, right? All right, scrolling through. Suppose in all these weeks we'll have a Linux kernel as update as well. So we'll need to reboot. That's the main job you need to do. You see a Linux kernel somewhere, then you just reboot. Right? Systemd idem. I'm not gonna reboot just yet. I'm gonna up all as well, which means if you first do an update, you get ArcoLinux and ArcoLinux. When you do an up all afterwards, you just see the guys are coming from, let's do a Ctrl+C, to the guys that are coming from AUR. So you see the coloring and the name, 10 of them. Now I see already some elements that we can get rid of. So let me do that first. So sudo pacman -remove, right? And I want to remove this guy. I found a better solution to play Netflix and to play YouTube, stuff like that. It's all on the forum, I think I've put it. It's also, of course, on the Nemesis script. So Nemesis script is something personal, something I use afterwards to tweak and theme things for myself after a clean installation. All the rest can stay, I think. Let's see again. All right, so the rest I have no problem with. The rest he can just install, and we'll just wait for him to finish. He's going to the right screen. Bye. Now, Control T, maybe also an Alt N. Alt N gives me another wallpaper. It was nice, but it was getting bored of the wallpaper. Let's take a car. Let's take this girl. Maybe that one. And why not that one? Close, right? So wallpapers variety, awesome or not awesome, just uninstall it or just go ahead and say, I don't want to start variety, I don't want to change the wallpaper. It's all here. And you point to the directory where your wallpapers are. Okay. So backup skull is needed again. Why? I've just done an update. What changed? I want to know what changed. We go to, is this Tunar still? So this is the one from before the update, after the update. Before the haircut, after the haircut, right? And we compare. So yeah, we get, of course, the one how to keep rolling and get to version 19.11. That's the bonsai tree, that's true. It was a crazy coincidence that we had the name bonsai, but also is a distribution. Hence, we got some strange things in our NeoFetch. So I recall it to bonsai tree, fetch, etc., etc. Some conkeys here. And for plasma, it seems, but it says plasma, plasma, plasma. So I've changed some of the conkeys, and I'll change more in the future, but only the nice ones, right? And we have some settings in here. We're going to snow, surf and arc breeze, but surf and arc breeze is not yet installed. Yep, you have to think of everything. NeoFetch, we've changed some icons here. The names have changed and the icons themselves actually as well. But of course you can't know. But we've just made them super nice, you'll see. All these things can be evaluated and checked upon. All right. What else? We have not done a scal yet, I think. So backup scal is the way to compare what was before in scal, what's after etc scal, right? I can compare with 2 months ago, 3 months ago. But scal is going to copy paste everything over to your .config. Now we've changed our scal, and well, I think we need to reboot. So if you see things like that, is actually not gonna work, but that's a file manager of Plasma, and Plasma is being updated. But I can get to my Tunar, and Tunar is also getting updated because I don't have this icon theme, so it gives me this bizarre look. This is the standard, I don't know, Advaita or something kind of thing. So it's an ugly theme anyway, but it's our standard fallback kind of icon that we have on Linux. One of those Advaita or something, I think it's this one that's gonna be used. Places. Nope, not that one. Just wondering. Yeah, that's this one. So we need to definitely install Yay. Let's do that first before we forget. New icons, surfen, arc, breeze. Otherwise we get something ugly. So we can either get it from our own repo, which is faster, or get it from the AOR. So this is super fast, right? So we do the super fast one. And there's also a new one, -s, the ArcoLinux Arc KDE has been developed as well, which means we don't need the proper original Arc KDE, we need the ArcoLinux Arc KDE. You'll see that the icons here are different, better suited for our theme. That's that as well. And while we are changing, I'll change this as well. So we have a nice theme. I like the theme. It's a new mix look with all this red. Kind of like it, but from time to time you need to change some things up, right? So I'm gonna go for a breeze, plasma style. It's this Arc Dark, so we just installed this one. Apply. It's gonna look different already. Some of the icons will be looking different as well. Yeah, I think it's so. But this one, we'll see that GTK breeze. It's okay. Let's keep the breeze. So the arc. We do one surfing arc breeze here and surfing arc breeze as well. Like so. Apply. That's that. And window decoration is normally okay. Coloring is in breeze, that's fine. Fonts, I think I've made it a little bit smaller. A nice tip, adjust all fonts. Style 10, okay. Apply, everything a little bit smaller. Icons, that's the one we need. So this is Advaita. If you're pointing to an icon theme and it's not existing, that's the fallback. We don't want that as fallback, we want to surf an arc breeze. We're gonna apply it. You see some of the icons changed now. This one changed particularly, and these icons have been changed as well. So this is the look that we've developed for ArcoLinux B Plasma. All kind of new theme here and a new icon theme as well to have all these nicer icons in the system panel. Cursor is this time all black. Since we have so many of these icons, is going over every little folder to check, is there a cursor, is there a cursor, is there a cursor. So what I've done on ArcoLinux B Plasma, I've just installed a few, well, maybe 2 or 3 icon themes, and that's it. So you get a super fast check for the cursor, so you don't have to go through all these coloring, all these icons, so the cursors are super fast there. But here we have this loading time because of him going to the user share icons. Go check it out, it's filled with lots of folders. So that being said, like you just saw, it's gonna work in the sense that it's oh, did I now change? Here it is white. Yeah, this is a bit strange, this thing. Here it's black, here it's white. Just reboot these cursors. What I wanted to say, have I done everything? Let's check this one out. So on the right, up all, and everything is done. There's just one thing, it says I'm missing this guy, and you can just remove this guy because I think it was a dependency for Xmint, the min stick, and at this point in time it just can be removed and you'll see your USB burner will still work. That's UDB, USB. So the USB image writer or stick formatter, which is actually an application from Mint, dear guys. Yep, and it's just working like always. Super. Never failed me. So that's a great thing. It's time for me to reboot. With a super shift enter, I'll get this nice little thing. Unable to create IO slave. Keyline launcher says error loading, blah, blah, blah. So he has updated references to some file. Maybe it's KF 5.1 or stuff like that. So all we need to do is just reboot after a major update like this. That's what we do. All right, see you on the other side.